We're going to take a look at the physical inventory module, and that's under the Inventory Manager Physical Inventory menu. Now this is basically a log of your physical inventory counts. It is going to start with a snapshot of your inventory, and then you put counts against that. This inventory, as noted in the upper right here, will include stock on bills of lading that have not shipped. So if you have a bill of lading that has actually gone on a truck and out the door, you need to make sure that that load is marked to log out so it's not included in this physical count. Also, I always recommend freezing the inventory when you're doing a physical count so you're not bringing product in and out that's going to undermine the quality of the snapshot. Now, if you are coming back to the screen after starting an inventory, you can go to a particular dated snapshot, but we'll do the example from the beginning. So as of this moment, we determine we are going to start a physical inventory. So we do a new snapshot. It takes a moment to run the query. It checks all of the inventory that is on hand. It tells us that it is complete. We can use this snapshot drop down to view it. So we're going to go back and choose our most recent, which is December 2nd at 5:52 p.m. So each line is an inventory record of location and product and count. So at location 0101, we have item PS00831, and there's one of them. In location 301, we have a number of different items, all different part numbers, all different counts. So they each get their own record. Some of these parts may be elsewhere in the yard, but they're going to have their own line item record in this snapshot. From here, we're going to start with our reports. Now, the reports that are in this drop-down menu are all filtered by this particular filter. We're going to start with show all, and we're going to start with the report that shows here, physical inventory count sheets. I'll preview it. And so this is going to be all locations and the inventory that is in those locations. So here's this one part that we saw in 0101, but 0102 has nothing, and so on. But as we check those locations, this would give the counter the opportunity to write down what he or she finds there, even though the report, the system thinks that there is no inventory. So there's quite a few empty locations here at the start, and then we start to see this 0301 show up with all of its product. And we're going to take a look at each of those types and add the count. You make sure that you add the counter's name and the date on this particular document so that we can go back and enter that into our log. And so we find that count 1, and I'll be counter 1, finds that there are 2 of these, and that's Dan, and he's counting them at 508. But counter 2 gets 1, and that's Ed. So we have a difference in 2 counts from the number of units that are expected to be there. Now, neither counter 1 or counter 2 knew how many units to find. They're out there on a double blind count. So in this case, we're going to require somebody else to go out and confirm a count. And let's send Jeremy out, and he finds, yes, there's just 1. And now we have a record of Dan's count may have been wrong, but Ed and Jeremy both agree with 1, and we're going to mark that item because it matches the 1 in our system as cleared. Okay. If we need to take some notes about what's going on, recounted by Jeremy, or we also have the option to flag these things for future reference, whether it's correct and recount, whether it's over, whether it's short, or we've resolved this issue. Now there is the option on here, as these count documents come in the door. There's going to be a lot of information to receive, and instead of doing the manual, let me check and see, oh, Ed got one, Jeremy got one, there's supposed to be one, therefore I will mark this particular item as cleared. We will set up the auto clear items. Now, auto clear items is going to mark the lines cleared as we enter counts based on these auto clear requirements. If any one of the 3 counts matches, if any 2 of the 3 counts match, specifically if counts 1 and 2 match, or maybe you are requiring that you need all 3 counts to match. I prefer match any 2. So we go out and we count this next item. I get 2, and Ed counts 3, and we send Jeremy back out to count. He finds 2, just like I said, and we see that it's automatically cleared from our inventory because, as we said, match any 2 counts. That would be my count and the 3rd count from Jeremy, and we're going to mark that off. If on our next line, Dan finds 2, and Ed finds 2, and Jeremy goes out and finds 2. It's not marked cleared because it does not match the units in the system. So this is going to take some sort of, we're going to flag this as over. I'm sorry, we're going to flag this as short. Let's get our terminology right. We're going to flag this as short. I counted 2, Ed counted 2, Jeremy counted 2. And therefore there are only 2 of these out there. And we will deal with that discrepancy by doing a correction bill of lading to withdraw the extra item. If we have a very straightforward, I count 3, Jeremy counts 3, we've already got, or Ed counts 3, we've already got this item cleared automatically because we've got 2 counts that match, and we don't have to send out a 3rd counter. So that's what's going on with the auto clear items and the match any 2 counts or match counts 1 and 2, things like that. Down below you're going to see the total lines. There's 2,923 inventory records. Now that's not different parts in inventory, that is the location and the product together make up a record. So there's 2,923 of those. We've cleared 3, we've matched 2 lines, but we manually cleared the extra line. Well, I should say matched in column 1. So I matched 2 of these. Lines matched in 2, we've got 2. Lines matched in 3, we matched 2. But lines 1 counted, I had counted 4 of these 2,923 lines. Ed counted 4, Jeremy's only counted 3, so this gives a total lines counted between all of the counters, just to give us some stats on this. We may then find that we want to re-examine a particular item. So we'll do, instead of location, so we're going to pull up a physical count sheet by item. Let's preview that. So now we get an item and its location instead of a location with all the items in it. If we click forward a couple here, we'll find ourselves at a situation such as this one, 44, 687, 10, 15, 2x, the hydrostatic test head 10-inch MPS. This has items in test head location and test head QC. So that, however many of those are, they're spread between 2 locations. And we could see more of that, especially as we get into, here's N403, 536. It's spread through several locations. So when we go out to check something we have a discrepancy on, we might want to recount all of the locations this particular product is located in. And that's this report. There is the discrepancy by item. Now I think my discrepancy by item is going to be empty. Let's double check. No, we've got one. That's the one that we It said that we had a system of 3 and each of us counted 2. So the discrepancies are parts with no matching counts. If we have even one matching count, it's not going to be included on here. Discrepancies mean that there are no matching counts. Okay, we might need to do things by that, and we also have physical count discrepancies instead of by item. In this case, it's going to be by location, so that we can go recheck the locations. We see the system and the counters and why none of them match. Okay, if we get a lot of this cleared off, we may have discrepancies that we've marked cleared, that we've addressed. For example, if we clear that one now, we won't find that on our discrepancy sheet anymore, or we will. We will until we set our filter to just show me the not cleared. Now this will filter the other report, and there's nothing on here. That's because we filtered off our cleared items. Again, if I show all, the one that is marked short here, where myself and Ed and Jeremy all counted 2, even though inventory is supposed to be 3, is going to show us a discrepancy. But if we filter all of our reports to only show not cleared, it's no longer on the discrepancy report. We do have one more report, which is the count comparison. Once again, this is going to be filtered by what we have here, so let's just show our cleared items in this case. And the count comparison, whoops. The count comparison shows all of our cleared items and what the counts were for each of those. Just a quick summary in case we need to review that. Once you have completed your inventory and your adjustments, such as the one where we're short here, you can come back and snapshot the uncleared items with the button here at the right. So now we have a lot of uncleared items. We're not going to do that. Here's all of our not cleared. We've got 3,000 of them almost. But at the end, you're going to have a few where you said, hey, there's only 2, even though the system says 3. You're going to go and make your correction receivers and bills of lading to update those counts, then re-snapshot those items, which will get a current post-correction count for just your uncleared items, which lets you check those against what you expected. I said there were 2. We did the correction bill of lading, so now there should only be 2. The corrections, or the snapshot of uncleared items, should then show that and allow you to clear that off. Those are the basics of using the physical count log for checking your inventory. And I hope this has been helpful. Please contact me with any questions that you have.